Let's talk hormones and the Dutch test. Why am I freaking out about this? So, this is for someone who has been on birth control for a long time, who has taken a lot of antibiotics, prednisone, maybe feeling wired and tired at the same time, feeling hot flashes, feeling like you can't get unstuck from your current weight no matter how hard you try. Even if you try crazy fad diets, you're still just stuck. Maybe you're chronically fatigued or in chronic pain. This is for you. So, I just got my results back from my Dutch test. And we knew my estrogen and progesterone and testosterone levels would be low. However, we didn't realize they would be tanked. By tanked, I seriously mean tanked. They were below, listen to this, below postmenopausal hormone levels. I'm 34 and I'm way below postmenopausal hormone levels. What the side effects of birth control, unless you truly understand, are birth control works by putting you in menopause so that you aren't cycling, so that you don't get pregnant. Okay, that sounded great to me. Fine, dandy. Let's go with it. And then all of a sudden, it's not okay. Now it's caused all sorts of excess problems, and I have been fighting to stop them for a while. The other part of the Dutch test is your cortisol and cortisone levels. So my cortisol levels are off the charts. My cortisol levels are also really high, which is weird, which means I'm not being able to produce them to balance them, yet making me wired and tired. Well, we finally found the reason behind some of my insomnia other than obstructive sleep apnea. So that's good. I'm finally finding out what the root of the problem is so that I can fix them. It's finally time for me to stop going to the doctors and them saying, it's in your head, go to the psych department. Because really, it's not in my head. Well, it might be. The lack of hormones are somewhat in my brain, so yeah, I guess it is in my head. It just wasn't in my head the way that they had thought it was. You know, hormone messed up can cause depression, hot flashes, weight gain, chronic fatigue, IBS. The list is just, I could just go on with the list forever. It's miserable. And now that I know what I have done to myself with chronic use of birth control and with chronic use of antibiotics and prednisone, I can start reversing some of the effects because I don't want to feel like I'm 90 inside. I'm 34. I should not be post-menopausal low levels of sex hormones. The other fun little tidbit, cover your ears, children. Birth control causes low libido. Great way to not have kids because you don't want sex. So if you want to be on birth control long term, just know long-term use, your libido will tank along with your hormones. And all the good things that come along with tanked hormones will come to you instead of having a fulfilling sex life. So in this Dutch test, I also learned a lot about other things like my vitamin Bs, my melatonin was looking good. There's a lot of things. So if you're able to do the Dutch test, I would 100% recommend it because the Dutch test really helped me understand what was going on in my life. So my plan is to put myself on my own plan. I've done my discovery plan before and my clients have had huge success with it, but I've really, let's be honest, it's hard to coach yourself. So I'm just going to coach myself. I'm going to put myself, now that I've created this new online program, I'm going to put myself and make myself go through it like it would any other program that I've purchased. It'll just be weird watching myself. But all jokes being aside, I have to give up the sugar. And that's all aspects, including natural sugar. So I am officially, as of today, giving up sugar. I am slowly doing the process. meaning I'm still going to eat fruit like berries and some of the lower glycemic fruits. Other than that, I'm giving it up. Dairy, anything processed, anything that's super high glycemic, I'm kicking it to the curb. And I will show you my kitchen in a little while about how sad it was and how hard it was for me to clean it out and how bare my cupboards look when I really started looking at labels and looking at the things that I had in my house that were health foods, because they weren't very healthy. So at least for my body. But this test really opened my eyes as to what synthetic hormones can do to your body. And maybe back when I was 19 and I started going through menopause the first time and they started giving me extra hormonal supplements on top of the birth control, maybe there was a deeper problem we should have looked into back then. That was many years ago. Maybe I wouldn't have as many problems as I do now. But I am really excited to be on this journey, and I'm really excited to share this journey with you, because I'm hoping that my struggles and my story will help someone else. Maybe I can catch you in your early 20s, so in your late 30s, mid 30s, whatever you want to call it. For me, you aren't finding out what you've done to your body, and now on this process of trying to get out of the problem. So I will be here and I will be sharing my story, and I hope that my story helps someone. Really, we've all read the birth control, side effects, and we've all thought about the blood clots and, maybe you lose your permanent ability to have kids or whatever like that. But what birth control does is put you in a menopausal state for your hormones. And if you want to be in menopause when you're young, good for you. But if I would have known what pushing myself into these menopausal birth control states was long term, I probably would have reconsidered it a long time ago. So really understand what you're taking before you start taking it. Is it a good thing? Yeah, if you don't want kids, it can be a great thing. But long term, it may have some pretty severe side effects that you might not like. Understand those side effects, because they make them pretty blanket in the backside of your, medications. It gives you all the side effects. If you read them and then I read between the lines, I see now that they told me all this could happen. But I didn't understand the true happenings behind it. And now I'm scared, because I've aged myself. I've aged my insides. I have put unneeded stress on a lot of my body because of what I've done. The other thing I need to work on is my cortisol. Are they directly related? They could be, but they might not be. So I've got to figure out why I'm only producing too much cortisol, because the number one thing in my life right now, two things I'm working on. One, get rid of sugar in all forms, good and bad. And two, sleep. Because those are the two things I need to restore my gut and restore my health. So I'm going to share this journey with you. I hope that I'm able to maybe give you a little nugget that makes your life easier, or I'm able to help someone make a decision about whether or not they want to be on birth control, or help you truly understand what hormones and inflammation can do to your body. Because the more I learn, the more scared I am, and the more I am motivated to kick inflammation in the booty and to get rid of my synthetic hormones. So I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I will talk to you all soon. Bye now. Let's stop dragging it through life and live the lives we love.